You know, it brings me no joy to report that the new Robbie Williams film, Better Man, has bombed. And not just a little bit. We're talking about like atomic levels of bombing. This thing is going down in flames like the Hindenburg. We could speculate why. I don't think we need to. It's a biopic about a guy who's famous in the UK, not so much in America, played by a CGI chimpanzee. Let's talk about this briefly. Before I get too far into this, if you wouldn't mind liking the video, if you find yourself liking it as we go, and kind of monkey swinging your way to the subscribe, smashing that thing with a banana. I don't know, I'm doing a monkey bit here, I guess. I would appreciate it. And no, I know. Chimpanzees are not monkeys. People get really upset when you compare the two. It's like, Jesus Christ, this is a movie channel, okay? Let me do movies. It's not Adam Does Monkeys. That sounds like that could make a few dollars though, right? I don't know how big the OnlyFans side of thing is for like a monkey sort of play. Well, let's move on. Before I slide my banana into this peel, I just want to first say I already saw this film, I reviewed it, and I really liked it. Going into it, I was like, I don't really know who Robbie Williams is. I know he's a singer. I'm not familiar with his music. Apparently, he's a big deal according to these trailers. So I went in really disinterested. The trailer they released looked terrible. There's some really ugly close-ups of the CG chimp. I really didn't know what the movie was going for. Is this going to be a sad drama story? Is it supposed to be some edgy, cool thing? Turns out it's a little bit of everything. And it worked so remarkably well. And that's why I said at the onset, I'm not happy to report this movie's failing, but let's remember something. There's a lot of great movies that have failed in Hollywood over the years, and there's a lot of shitty ones that continue to make a lot of money. See the Fast and the Furious franchise. But when we enter the time machine and go back, we can see films like The Thing. We can see films like Fight Club. We can see movies like Scott Pilgrim vs. the World failing to make money at the theaters. Hell, The Shawshank Redemption underperformed. That's just disgusting. Casablanca didn't make back. Now, I'm not comparing Better Man to any of those movies. My point is this. It seems like films that take chances, they go out on that branch just out of reach, if we keep with the chimp thing, sometimes they fall. Sometimes the limb of the tree does not hold, and you fall down. You hit every branch on the way, as Better Man has. Granted, this movie's in its infancy here in the States. It's only been out for a few days, but it's only made $1.5 million off a $110 million budget. Folks, these movies make a good chunk of the revenue within the first 2 weeks, especially the first few days. It's critical to setting a tone for where this is gonna go. Those numbers aren't gonna climb up higher week to week. They're just gonna dip in terms of people going to the theaters to see it. In the UK, it only earned $5 million. That's Robbie Williams' bread and butter. That's where he's big. So knowing that ahead of time, it's even more bonkers that Paramount decided to put down $25 million to retain it here in America. What were they thinking? Also, I don't really know what Robbie Williams was thinking. I mean, I get that he wanted to be different than all the other biopics out there. I mentioned in my review for this film that you can see on my channel. If you're a subscriber, you can just see it right now. Just go. Or actually wait till this is done, then go. But I mentioned how the subgenre of biopic is my least favorite. I get it. You rose to fame from nothing. You got into drugs, alcohol, sex, and rock and roll, and then you fell on your face. You alienated loved ones around you, but you picked yourself back up by your bootstraps. And by golly, you did it again. You got to the top. It's boring. I've seen it so many times. So Robbie Williams, to his credit, was like, we gotta have a hook. We gotta have something. I see myself as more of a chimp, a creature that has never fully evolved. Because he hit stardom when he was young, 15 or 16 years old. He was in that boy band. And that's basically when he stopped. It stunted his growth. And so I get it. Metaphorically, it makes sense. It works in the picture. But this is a niche market now that you're talking about. You look at Scott Pilgrim. I fucking love that film. That's not something my mom's gonna like. That's not something my grandpa's gonna appreciate. This is a niche type of situation. Had they gotten more of a Star is Born, yeah, you bring in all walks of life. This is just, it's crazy that they didn't see the writing on the wall here. And it's actually crazy I even went to see it because I had no interest, but I think I was looking for some content on the channel. Nothing else was really playing, so I said, I'll take a chance. Let's head to this thing. It also kind of repelled me that it was over 2 hours. I think it's 2 hours and 20 minutes. That length scares me when I have to waste dedicating so much time in the theaters for something that could potentially be terrible. People are getting stingier with their money. Things cost more. Going to the theater, using up your gas, paying for a movie ticket, buying a popcorn or a drink. You're putting in 30, 40, 50 bucks, depending on how many people are with you. That's a lot of money for a movie about a chimp that's CG based on a person you might not even know. And let this video be a lesson to you, studios. Take note that if you're thinking about making a Broadway musical featuring hippos as your lead characters, maybe don't put in 110 million. Maybe think about scaling back a little bit, or maybe lose the hippos. All right, those are my thoughts on Better Man. A great movie, sadly a misguided attempt at the theater run. Let me know yours. Leave a comment. Please think about liking the video and subscribing. Content's coming out all the time. I'd appreciate having you stick around. Swing on over to Patreon, like I said, like a chimpanzee. It won't say monkey. I'll get in trouble. All right. Hopefully I see you next time. Take care. Thanks again for watching the video. If you wouldn't mind, I would appreciate it if you checked out patreon.com/AdamDoesMovies. That's where fans of my channel go to help support it. There are different tiers with different offerings, exclusives every month. We got multiple movie reviews. There's a vlog monthly, and these fine people get a shout out because they're at the upper tier level. Look at these gorgeous folks. They have really gone above and beyond to help support me in the channel, and I appreciate them. And even if you don't want to plop down $1 a month, you can just sign up for Patreon for free and become a member at no charge, just to see what's showing up at least and give you a better sense of it all. Appreciate your time. Thanks.